Good day, everyone, and once again, welcome to our course, Building and Enhancing New Literacies Across the Curriculum. We are now on our sixth chapter, which is Ecological Literacy. We have discussed different literacies, and now let's go back to nature. These are the objectives. First is we'd be able to define ecological literacy, distinguish among environmental literacy, eco-literacy, and ecological literacy, describe an eco-literate person, and recognize individual and collective roles in protecting and rehabilitating the environment and ecosystem. We are now at a critical point with many environmental issues such as climate change and rampant environment destruction, and we really can feel it, especially now it's really warm. Alienation from nature greatly contributes to the aggravation of these environmental problems. Ecological literacy is important to business and political leaders and to all levels of education. So everyone is affected with the effects of how people have mismanaged the ecosystem. There are lots of problems we are experiencing right now. Every day, our environment gets worse and it causes a lot of problems to animals and humans. Many would say this might be one of the effects of globalization. Others would also say human beings are the one destroying the environment. In this lesson, we will know our roles in protecting and rehabilitating the environment and ecosystem. We will not be debating as to who's at fault with the very warm feeling that we are having right now. Instead, we are going to think what are the things that we can do. Okay? As a student, this is the first question. As a student, what can you contribute to help save our Mother Earth? Right, so please ponder on this question. And what have you done so that you can give or you can add to the contribution on saving our Mother Earth? Ecological literacy refers to an individual's understanding not only at ecological concepts, not only concepts, but also of his or her place in the ecosystem. We are not down to just a knowledge level, but then you have to understand, you have to analyze yourself also that you are a part of the ecosystem. Know your place. When you know your place, you know what to do. When you know your place, you know how to act. The term ecological literacy was first introduced by David in 1989 in his essay Ecological Literacy. He indicated that knowing, caring, and practical competence form the foundation for ecological literacy. Again, not just knowing, not just caring, but also practical competence. Okay? He pointed out that the root of environment crisis is the individual's inability to think about ecological patterns, systems of causation, and long-term effects of human actions. Well, because if you do understand these things, then you might be able to know what the actions or what actions you will be making, what things or what decisions you should try and avoid. Thus, he emphasized the importance of experience in one's natural environment that can enable humans to shift perspective from one of an economic emphasis to one of balance amongst economics, ecology, and cultures. Right? So please take note of your experiences and try to think also the reasons, the effects, and how you felt in those experiences with regards to nature. Or in 1992 also argued that the ecologically literate person understands the dynamics of the environmental crisis, which includes an understanding of how people have become so destructive. Therefore, identifying school students' ecological literacy levels is a necessary step to investigate their behavior, attitudes, sensitivity, and behavioral retention. That is why this kind of knowledge is embedded even in our school's curriculum, even in every company or every organization. They are more aware now as to what are the effects of their company's actions in the environment. In order to create awareness among students, it is important to foster correct knowledge to ensure positive approach to the environment. So knowledge is also still important here. Also, these Harris, Esconheimo, and others also stated that positive attitudes and values toward the environment are occurred with a good knowledge. Okay. Developing environmentally responsible behavior requires correct knowledge. Developing environmentally responsible behavior requires correct knowledge about climate change, the cause of global warming, carbon emissions, and carbon footprint. We have to know the underlying problems, the existing problems that our country or our or this earth is currently having, so that we be able to give correct solutions. There has been an increasing concern with enhancing ecological literacy in society. The current literature on ecological literacy emphasizes on role of scientific knowledge and ecological thinking in identifying cause-effect relationships in socio-environmental systems in order to allow more enlightened decision making. Therefore, its primary pedagogical goals are cognitive and experimental. In this, it differs from the broader concept of environmental literacy, which incorporates civic literacy that pertains to changes in values and behaviors. Okay, so environmental literacy, well, pertains to the changes in values and behaviors, and thus also contains affective and moral pedagogical goals. Ecological literacy is meant to enable conscious and participant citizens. Again, ecological literacy is meant to enable conscious and participant citizens, not only conscious but also participant, to make informed decisions. We make decisions, we take actions, okay, on environmental issues. It's not just about making infomercial, it's not just about producing knowledge, it's not just about driving into a certain conclusion, but you need to take action as well. Efforts in this direction include books by experienced ecologists for the general public, of which two outstanding examples are of Leyin and Slobodkin in 2003 and 2000. Now let's go to characterizing an eco-literate person. What is an eco-literate person? Okay, Dr. Tom Pook in 2002 of Lakehead University characterized an ecologically literate person of the 21st century as the responsible lifelong learner who strives to improve the human condition in the environment within the context of you, okay, yourself, of self, human groups, and biosphere and the ecosphere. Please remember, bear in mind that you are not alone in this world. You are interconnecting with everything around you within the life's circle and then within the ecosystem's circle. You are not alone. Your actions are not affecting only you, and the actions of other people are also affecting you. The ecologically literate person, in order to achieve the aforementioned ultimate goal, should become first an inquirer who actively secures the basic skills and knowledge in order to carry out ecological responsibilities. Well, we know already that through our inquisitive minds, and then we try to deep the layers of knowledge, because if we see only the upper layer, if we are inquisitive, we know that something is there deeper and we have to dig that out. This also enables her to reach her own potential and place in the physical and natural environment, right? So you have to know your place, you have to know, where am I, what is my function here, how can I be of help. Next, a person must be a reflective learner who understands the value and limitations of human knowledge. Yes, we've got limitations. We all know that. We know also the value of human knowledge, but not all, right? The power and limitations of the natural world, the role of intuition in real life. Intuition is also included here. Life's pursuits and the role of self as it is manifested in one's personal narrative. In your own life, what is your role? Okay. Next is that intelligently self-directed. You must be self-directed in it's not just making decisions what like at the move of the moment, whatever you think of that you just do that. No, you've got to be intelligent when you are taking actions. Who engages in self appraisal, sets new learning objectives, develops plans to achieve those objectives, carries out those plans in a flexible, inquiry directed manner, and reflects on the whole process. Okay, so you make plans, you've got your objectives, and you need to carry out those plans. You're not just going to end up having plans alone and then you just sleep or you just sit there. You need to stand up and then you have to work. You have to work out those plans, you have to work out those objectives. And after that, you do not leave it there. You need to reflect also on the whole process. You need to think, was it effective? Do I need to change something? What about next year? What will be my next move? Next, you've got to be morally responsible. Who governs with precepts, responsibility, seeking justice and equality for all, that maintain harmonious relationships. You have to think about the equality, the justice for everyone, but at the same time, maintaining your harmonious relationship with yourself, with your society, and with your nature, with your environment also. In all of the types of literacies that we have studied before, we can never avoid the moral or the ethical aspect of these literacies. In order to be literate in these, you need to be ethical in all of these aspects. And that includes the eco-literacy or ecological literacy. Next is seek self-transcendence, who move beyond the limitations of personal ego by identifying which human groups, the past and future, flora and fauna, ecosphere that transcend the individual life in scope and time. Remember, your steps now, your actions now, what you are right now, how you are feeling right now is affected by your past. And all of the decisions that you make and your thinking will also affect your future. We are all part of this ecosphere, of this, even the flora and fauna here, flora and fauna outside our country, we are all affected. Right? The ecologically literate person of the 21st century has, this one is very beautiful, has a positive view of life grounded in the faith of interconnectedness and has the capacity to competently perform significant life work and related tasks. Such a view enables her to look upon the human experience positively and all living things compassionately. The one thing that I can think of right now here is that based on the posts that I've been reading, movies, and from experiences also, that whenever we feel down, we feel broken, or we are at an emotional imbalance, what we do is we always go back to nature. We ask someone, we ask a friend, let's go hiking, let's go to the beach. We always find or seek refuge and peace in nature, right? So nature really is beautiful. Environmental literacy, ecological literacy, and eco-literacy. Frameworks of eco-literacy exhibit a high degree of similarity with frameworks, high degree of similarity for environmental literacy. Again, we have got eco-literacy here and environmental literacy. And that both sets include similar affective knowledge, cognitive skills, and behavioral components. However, what most differentiates eco-literacy from environmental literacy is the clear emphasis on sustainability. Right? So sustainability is included here, and the introduction of spiritual, holistic components expressed in terms of celebration of creation. So it's more alive. There's more depth with eco-literacy. Right? It's as if we're talking about life here, right? Spirit and reverence for the earth and expansion of the soul. An eco-literate person is prepared to be an effective member of sustainable society with well-rounded abilities of head, heart, hands, and spirit, compressing an organic understanding of the world and participatory action within and with the environment. I am encouraging everyone to watch like videos in YouTube, which is about permaculture. Uh, Permaculture, as it is not just about planting, but being one with nature. Okay, so I am recommending those kinds of videos that you do watch them. Okay. Environmental literacy, ecological literacy, and eco literacy. So we've got a chart here. We have their general concepts of environment, their dominant educational objectives, primary pedagogical approaches, and the examples of strategies. If you want to go here and if you want to practice it or exercise this. So environmental literacy, the conception of this is some problem field of values. In the educational objectives, which is dominant, develop problem solving skills from diagnosis to action. Okay, problem solving skills from diagnosis to action. Develop a system of ethics, adopted environmentally responsible behaviors. Adopt environmentally responsible behaviors. The pedagogical approaches here, we've got cognitive, pragmatic, affective, and moral. And the examples of strategies, we've got case study, issue analysis, problem solving project analyses, and clarification of values, criticisms in or of social values. Next is the ecological literacy. Sorry. The conception here of environment is object of study system. Okay, environment is an object of study system. The educational objectives: acquire knowledge of ecological concepts and principles, develop skills related to scientific method, observation, and experimentation, develop systems thinking, analysis, and synthesis, understand environmental realities in view of informed decision making. Okay. In the pedagogical approaches used, we've got cognitive and experiential. Strategies used, we've got observation, demonstration, experimentation, case study, environmental system analysis, construction of ecosystem and models. Now let's go to eco-literacy. The conception of environment here is that it is a shared resource for sustainable living, or Gaia. There. The dominant educational objectives promote and contribute to economic development that addresses social equity and ecological sustainability, develop the many dimensions of one's being in interaction with all aspects of the environment. There. All right. The primary pedagogical approach is cognitive, pragmatic, holistic, intuitive, and also creative. Again, there's more life here. Examples of strategies, we've got case study, social marketing, sustainable consumption activities, sustainable living, management project, immersion, visualization, creative workshops. Again, I am inviting everyone to watch videos regarding permaculture. Okay, greening initiatives in colleges and universities. Increased awareness of environmental degradation and concern for its rehabilitation have prompted colleges and universities to green their campuses, just like KAMSI or KAMSU. A green campus is a place where environmentally responsible practice and education go hand in hand, and where environmentally responsible tenets are borne out by example. The Green Campus Institution is a model environmental community where operations, business practices, the academic programs, examples are our syllabus, and people all of us inside the institution are interlinked, providing educational and practical value to the institution, the region, and the world. So not only to COMC, but also the entire region and the entire world. And we are really trying to make an impact. Greening initiatives, although challenging and demanding, yield significant benefits in the long run. Okay, so these benefits are environmental and economic sustainability. A system-wide culture of sustainability helps preserve and enhance what the institution values today as well as for the future. Reputation as a leader through example. As colleges and universities offers courses in environmental management, I'm not sure about CAMSI, though we are integrating this in our syllabus, in our curriculum. But in other schools, they've got like environmental engineering, law, and different courses or different programs, which has this one. Right, so engineering laws and regulations and assessment, greening initiatives provide them opportunities to practice what they preach and make their mark as environmental leaders. Colleges and universities need to examine their own organization and implement on their own campuses what they and the public expect their industry to do. So we don't just talk and talk, we don't just preach, but we really take actions, and we really are trying our best to create an impact in the society, if not the whole world. Economic benefits, a routine curriculum-based environmental audit program that reveals waste inefficiency associated with campus activities, coupled with the identification of environmental friendly alternatives, can yield significant cost savings for the institution. So you as students and you're staying in the main campus, I'd like you to think and observe and assess the entire campus, everything while you're inside there, and then the community also outside. Are we making an impact? Are we doing these things? Real life work experience for your students. Environmental audits and pollution prevention evaluations can be integrated into the curriculum, providing students with hands-on investigative and problem-solving experience that they can take with them when they enter the workforce. This experience not only makes your students more marketable, it also provides them with the kinds of broad thinking skills that allow them to succeed and thrive once they are employed. So this is not just applicable to students, but then also to the entire faculty. Here in our place, we are trying. So most of us faculty, and even those who are in the admin, we try that we have a place, a spot in our homes wherein we can plant. We try to live healthy, we try to be sustainable, not all and not always, but then we do something, right? Because we are also affected with all the symposium, all the seminars that we attend in our school. We are hoping that you our students are also experiencing, or are you also do these things. Improved quality of life in the campus. A green campus is a cleaner, safer, and healthier place to live and work. Okay, so please elaborate. What environmental issues and concerns move you and provoke you to action? What efforts and practical steps do you do to influence others to take action? Okay. For our evaluation, we've got the first question: develop a personal definition of sustainability. Next, what are greening initiatives done by your department or college? Third, what personal greening initiatives would you propose to your own campus, community, and home? Now, this is your, since it's part of evaluation, the activity for now is that you will be making an infomercial answering all of these questions. Okay, answer these 3 questions in an infomercial, which is good for 3 to 5 minutes. All right. Okay, so that is our activity for this lesson, which is the 6th lesson. So this is where our lesson ends. Hopefully, everyone is in their best condition right now. And please keep safe, everyone. Goodbye.